Oh my.
You lost your argument. You lost.
You lost your election and you're like, oh, they cheated.
Okay, yeah, they cheated. But guess what? No one. By the way, Bcook. At least we're not like Joe Biden and have to
like,
delete.
shut the fuck up.
Bcook. At least we're not have to change the argument because that's how bad you lost the argument.
1600s.
That's never happened, Bcook. Even history will show you. Guess what? They weren't really racist.
Let me get out the fucking textbook. My God, this is
Read the
ridiculous.
textbook,
This is honestly just ridiculous, Nico.
boy. Okay. Became erasing was afterwards, and it was because of doing Jim Crow laws, and also when.
That was it was way before. I'm getting out the fucking textbook now, Nico.
Bro, you gonna keep running away, bro? You gonna keep running away?
Okay, it was Bacon's Rebellion in 1676. Nathaniel Bacon, okay. He was a wealthy white property owner and relative of Virginia's governor, William Berkeley. But Bacon Berkeley did not, they just skipped over, let me just skip to this is all just like build up.
Okay, I know what you're talking about now. Because you're talking about the Articles of Confederation and how that they couldn't collect tax money. I remember that shit. Yeah, because and all these farmers
are rich.
By the way, yeah. Guess what? They and then they stormed the governors and they stormed Boston. I remember that.
Oh my God.
It wasn't Boston. This was in Virginia.
Virginia, Boston. They did in a bunch of areas. Remember this?
This was not in Boston.
They did storm in Boston. You gotta remember that. They also did that too.
They stormed Jamestown.
Yep.
Why super not talking?
Oh no. Like my like.
Rebellion, Virginia lawmakers began to make legal distinctions between white and black inhabitants by permanently enslaving Virginians of African descent and giving white, poor, indentured servants and farmers some new rights and status. They hope to separate the two groups and make it less likely that they unite in rebellion.
So what are y'all talking about?
Yeah. Doesn't mean it's always about. Yeah, but that's only happened in Virginia. The only reason it became bigger and bigger because of the compromise and also certain earlier of that. The only reason it continuously be bigger wasn't really because of race. Think about it. It's about rebellion. The fuck? It's never really about race.
No.
Even your argument shows that it's never always really about race.
He's all like,
Take a second to think about it. Think about what they're doing. They are pitting the white people and the black people against each other and giving the whites extra rights and taking away rights from many free blacks and enslaved peoples. Therefore, causing more divide, making racist propaganda that furthers the fucking racial enslavement of African Americans. You fucking idiot.
This nigga what the
why you getting all mad?
Oh my God!
If you're gonna try to win,
not acknowledging that this happened.
By the way, if you're gonna try to win, are you gonna try to win?
To me.
If you're gonna try to win an argument, don't try to make fun of people or something because you're not gonna win an argument with that. By the way, second of all,
no, I simply don't understand how you can. I cannot comprehend how you don't realize that it was for hundreds of years race-based.
It's not really racist. It was always about money.
Crazy to me. Did you ever hear of white slaves in America? White slaves? Did you hear of them? Did they exist?
Because they never sold. No one never sold them because the country never sold them to that. You gotta
they didn't
that.
Fucking exist.
Actually, they existed beforehand in the BC area.
There were such before this but they weren't slaves. They were indentured servants. And that was different.
You know what's funny? They actually did have that. But they realized they had to pay them cash, and this is in Georgia.
And then they realized that the indentured servants and the slaves would unite against them, so they pitted against each other based on race, making the slavery thing into a race thing. Oh my God! You have no argument.
You're not letting me speak. This is the issue with you Democrats. You don't let people speak.
Oh my God. I want to see you counter it.
Okay. You're not letting me speak. This is the issue you Democrats. What the heck?
Like I was saying, remember this.
I just spit it everywhere when you said that shit.
Okay.
Issue you Democrats.
So remember this. So when England started sending prisoners to Georgia, guess what? They started realizing, oh, we gotta give them money. Wait, we could just get slaves and be free because these people don't know the concept of the actual cash we gotta give them. Remember that. That's why I'm live in Georgia. And guess what? They're starting to send their prisoners to Georgia into all the prisoners and have to pay over 10 years. They had to be servitude. And then guess what? American independence happened. Guess what? They started sending their prisoners to Australia, and the same thing happened. They were all prisoners and getting paid very low. It was the same thing as slavery over there.
Y'all making my booty itch.
What the? That is before this.
No one.
Don't you?
Yeah, before it. The fuck? That's how it started. That's
what
how,
I'm saying.
That's how slavery.
You're literally just helping my point, bro.
That's how slavery started, basically.
Y'all making my booty.
It wasn't really
yes,
that.
But I'm not arguing how it started. I'm arguing what became of it. What it became. It didn't start as a race thing. It started as an economic thing. But it became into a race thing.
Your entire argument loses because it was after. That's the issue. Not because of before, because we're always talking about before.
It wasn't after slavery. It was,
no, not talking after slavery. We're talking about when they were getting slaves, dumbass.
What are y'all talking about?
So when they were getting slaves, they never worried about race. Is when the black tribes and Nigeria started saying slaves to us. For like dirt cheap.
I'm not. Yes, exactly. I'm not saying it started as a race thing. It didn't. It started as a purely economic thing, but it became a race thing.
Yeah, afterwards, after the Civil War.
Not after the Civil War.
It was right
before the Civil War.
It was after the Civil War. Main reason because guess what? All these Jim Crow laws and all that shit. Guess what? Most of these people were worried about losing profits. Guess what? All these Jim Crow laws.
No. After the Civil War, it became people trying to defend the Confederacy. That's what that became after the Civil War. It became like the lost cause myth and shit like that.
It wasn't a lost cause because when the Union was there, so they couldn't do shit. It wasn't a lost cause. It was
no, that's just the name of what the myth is called. It's called the lost cause myth.
No, it's not. Dumbass. You don't know history.
That's literally what it's called. That's the term for it. The lost cause myth. Like, what?
You're not making sense then.
I don't. It's literally just the name.
What they wanted to
it might not be completely accurate. It's just the name. It's as simple as that.
You dumbass. If you're giving a name that doesn't fucking make sense and the fucking point doesn't make sense to you or anyone.
But that's the name.
That's not the name. That's the name you gave them.
I don't come up with the fucking name for it.
No, that's the name that you just gave up the name. Duh.
I didn't come up with the name for that. That's just
what
people call it.
You niggas have
the lost cause myth is it's a term that already exists. I didn't make that up.
Yeah. Guess what? The myth and then it's a myth. The fuck? They converted and lost. They lost everything. So what they started to do was they started to kill blacks. Started to hang them. That's when the KKK started. That's how it ended. And they lost all their power. Remember that. Right? That's how they started becoming.
Before they killed them, they were slaves.
Yeah, it was all about profit. It's basically the idea was, guess what? If we can't have them, no one can either. They won't be able to be here. Remember.
Yeah, but they.
Remember? Do you not remember what the
black people were enslaved. Specifically them.
Remember what was it called? What Confederacy second plan was afterwards, and it completely failed. It's because not all black people went back to Africa. They were trying to put Africans back in their country, but it failed. Remember?
Okay. Nico,
remember that shit?
Let me just say a basic point. Yeah, I do know exactly what you're talking about. They tried to send him back to Liberia. Yeah.
Yeah, and I failed because none of them know how to go to that shit third world country.
Yeah, why the fuck would that?
Because that shit third world country. Because bruh, they were slaves over there.
It's a third world country. Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
they used to live there.
I don't see what that has to do with anything.
Okay, that's where their first plan, major plan. Guess what? It failed. So if they basically started the idea of if we can't, we can't be with them. The fuck, they're slaves. They still saw the idea of slavery, right?
You realize that idea was the North's idea, right?
No, because remember this. Why am I getting?
You brought up Japan and Europe.
No.
Because guess what? I'm dead. That's what you said.
No, but because you. This is what you said. Guess what? Race has been in the entire world history. Has always been like who's been mostly offended. You said world history. The fuck? That's when we started bringing up Japan. Then you brought that arrow. You never said America. You never said the fucking America. You
What
never.
the fuck? You're the one who's talking about England and shit. I never even said Europe at all. Are you crazy? Are you
No,
out of your
you
fucking
did.
mind?
No, you did.
I will save the clip the last 30 fucking minutes and
Okay.
tell you that I not at one point said the word Europe.
Okay, then put out the clip.
I have to watch this shit back for a whole while, but that was all you, bro.
What's this
What are
boy
you talking
game?
about, bro?
Then Nico, the only foreign shit I brought up was the Arab slave trade, which is also a slave trade of Africans.
But you were bringing about world history, though. That was the point.
I said that in history,
Yeah,
black people were the only ones who were ever enslaved based on race.
based on race. Doesn't really mean anything when it was based on race. There's other cultures that was also because of based on race. The Japanese, especially. That's why we brought up Japanese.
Other slaveries.
Yeah,
It was,
that's why we brought up Japanese.
Prisoners, debtors, convicts, and POW. That's who the slaves were in most of the slavery systems. That's the thing.
Because guess what? They don't. If you still go to Japan, it's always been about race. It doesn't matter. They've always been about that. So that's where your argument failed.
Japan never really had slaves, though. That's the thing. They never really had slaves.
Yeah, because they mostly killed them afterwards. Yeah, they were way
fuck.
worse.
I rather just be killed than live a life of slavery.
That's why they were way worse. It's because they would just kill you. They would just use you as a human experiment guinea pig.
When was this?
World War II, beforehand. I mean,
World War II.
that's because they start. Remember,
them dudes were just doing horrendous shit in World War II.
Remember this. But they never remember this. Japan, their entire existence, never really started to invade other countries. You gotta understand that.
No, they did. Especially like Korea and China. They definitely did invade.
Yeah, guess what era that
They
was?
had invaded Korea before World War II.
Yeah, guess what they did? They put the women into servitude. The fuck?
Yeah, but that's POWs.
They're not the women. They were not fighting in the war. They raped them too.
Yes, but they were captured during the war.
They weren't captured. They were just civilians. Even most of them will tell you, yeah, I was just a civilian. They would come to your house.
And how the fuck did they end up? How the fuck did they end up captured? But if they weren't captured,
they're not. Yeah, your argument loses when you bring up Japan and all that. You legitimately lose that argument. Now you're trying to say no, it happened before. I'm like, no, it happened.
I didn't hear you on my radar.
No matter what, it happened. And it was always about race.
Why are you talking about?
And
y'all niggas talking about school.
This isn't about school.
No, I gotta go. I gotta do Car Academy.
Yeah, that sounds like you lost. I'm gonna be real. Sounds like you lost.
No, I didn't. I legitimately told you an argument. Now you're saying that, oh, it didn't happen. I'm like, dude, it happened. The fuck? I give you my evidence. You didn't get shit.
Your entire timeline of events for everything is just like it's strange.
That's been outgoing. I was at Wayne.
I was wrong, but you were also wrong. It was 1904 to 1905.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Either way, they'd already killed Korea for like.
Yeah, but remember this. They were still mistreating them, and it was always about race to them. It didn't matter. To them, it was always about race. You gotta understand that. It wasn't about slavery. It was about race, and that's how your argument goes. It's about race. It doesn't matter if it's slavery or not. If it's race or not, that matters.
Well, that wasn't my argument, was it? I didn't say there was no racism anywhere else. I didn't say there was no racism anywhere else. I said the enslavement of blacks in America was the only large-scale race-based slavery.
You didn't say America. You never said America. You said history.
But I didn't even say America or history in that sentence.
You just said...
Actually, I did say America. The Americans the American slavery of blacks is the only large-scale race-based slavery.
Yeah, in history.
Yeah.
It wasn't the largest base. There was,
Was
also
this
the
slavery?
there was also the Jewish. That was also the largest in Egypt. There was also the and that one actually was about race and religion.
Okay, yeah, that one, yeah, I'll give you that.
And they were even way more cruel. They didn't care. They
That was also like thousands of years ago.
doesn't matter. It's in history. That's how your argument loses, no matter what. Your argument's so blunt and forward that it will lose in one simple point. You lost.
And still,
You lost. Simple as that. You lost. I can show you one sample in history, and you lost. Doesn't matter. Your thing was too blunt and forward. That's the issue of your argument. You should have said American. You should have said. This is what you should have said. An American history. If you said that, then I would have said yes. I would have agreed. You said it so bluntly about just history. You lost. Or we can talk about the Jewish too, and the Nazi camps, and they were also slavery, but they were also killing them too. There was the concentration camps and the work camps too. Because the concentration camps.
My original point was the N-word had a lot more history behind it. Something like fucking, you know.
Actually, there's a lot more. There's so many. If we're gonna do that, then we're gonna use Asia. Asia is way worse. Has way worse terms. Remember, Siamese used to be a really bad term for them too. Siamese used to be a bad term for them.
But they have history.
And by the way,
that the N-word had.
Yeah, it only happens in America, by the way. You go to any other country, they say, okay, yeah, we don't care. You go to France, they don't care. It's only America that gets offended, by the way. Yeah, they don't get offended.
Or does France have that history?
It's just America. It's just America. It's just America. You understand? It's just America.
That doesn't make it right for you to say the N-word, though. Like,
if you get offended by saying a word, then you should get clowned out no matter what.
I'm not getting offended by it. I'm just saying you shouldn't.
You should. You know why you should say your word?
I'm just recommending that you don't.
You know why you should say the word? Because it tells you what. If you get angry, you can't deal with humor. You don't know how to take. You don't know how to take.
Well, I mean,
you don't have thick stick. What's it called?
You just said the N-word 3 times.
You don't have no. You don't have thick skin. You lose.
You see, the thing is, you actually have to make a joke with it.
It doesn't matter.
If you make a joke with it, it's fine. Like, that's funny.
Bcook. It doesn't matter. You don't have thick skin.
Oh my.
You lost your argument. You lost
your election, and you're like, oh, they cheated. Oh,
okay, yeah, they cheated. But guess what? No one. By the way, Bcook. At least we're not like Joe Biden and has to delete.
Shut the fuck up.
Bcook. At least we're not have to change the argument because that's how bad you lost the argument.
No, this is a.
Bcook, you lost the argument so bad that you have to change. No, you lost the argument. You lost the argument. When you start trying to change your topic just because you lost.
Start making points about something
you
else,
lost the argument. Because when you start.
You're changing the argument. Like,
Bcook, you're starting to change the argument. No, we didn't. We never changed it. It was always about race.
You turned the argument to me not having 10. That's what you just changed it to.
No, because the argument was already finished. It was dead. And new one of what? You want to make a new one?
Oh my god. Oh.
On a basis of what? You have no basis. That's the issue of your argument. You have no basis on your argument. That's the issue.
Hypocritical Republicans
I'm not being hypocritical. I'm just telling you have no basis on your argument. How am I being ridiculous?